Test words, test words, test words. Hello, welcome. Make yourself at home. I hope you're enjoying it here. Is what I want Leeds United to be saying in the next couple of days, week, to new signings. And thankfully, it looks like we could be close to that in a winger signing, as Leeds United have reportedly plotted a huge John Rowe hijack. The idea is we've seen that Marseille have an interest in him. We know that we have an interest in him. So we've decided, you know what? Let's make a move. Let's try and sign him for us, and hopefully that'll all work out. I guess we'll have to see how that goes. But before I dive into all of that, I've got a little bit of housekeeping to do. I'm recording this in advance and then putting it out as a live stream about 20 minutes afterwards when everything's had a chance to render and stuff like that. This is a case of me literally just testing the algorithm to see if multiple videos in a day is harmful to the second video that you put out in that day, or if a live stream is able to do the same job. It's technical stuff. But either way, just know that I will be looking at the chat as I publish this, but I won't be able to respond verbally. But in this video, I'm going to run through what exactly happened over the weekend to sort of force this narrative to go faster and faster and faster, how John Rowe is now forcing the move, Leeds United's attempted hijack of it, and how exactly Leeds intend to attract Rowe, and ultimately, is this move going to be happening for us? So, first off, diving into the story, what exactly happened over the weekend, because things got a little bit weird, things got a little bit different. First up, we had word on, I think, Saturday morning that Marseille had made an £8 million bid for John Rowe. This spooked a few people, including me for a while, because we were like, shit, they're kind of actually financially umphy sometimes, which could make things a little bit difficult. But thankfully, that £8 million bid was rejected by Norwich almost immediately. You might remember that Leeds apparently made a verbal approach for £7 million, which was also rebuffed. This was a formal offer, but it was only for 8. So again, Norwich said no, because as previously mentioned, they still think they can get a little bit more money for him. They are looking more in the £15 million area. Leeds reportedly looking at about 10. I think it's going to land at roughly 12, but we'll get into that a little bit later. With this in mind, with John Rowe aware that he's got interest from Leeds United and he's got interest from Marseille, it looks like he is now starting to force this move. He decided not to play on Saturday. He made the decision on Saturday morning when the coach was heading from Norwich to Oxford, which must have felt a little bit bad for the team around him, because oh, we need to pick a new first 11 now, which makes things incredibly tricky. And I feel like we might have seen this one before, Willie Louis Sinistera. But it has ultimately led to him training with the under-21 side, being cast out from the Norwich side, and basically, in my opinion, this makes it 100% certain that he will be leaving Norwich. This isn't a case of what we were doing last season where we said, no, Willie, actually, I think you will be training with the under-21s, but we're going to keep you. Norwich haven't made any public statements along those lines to say they are definitely going to keep hold of John Rowe. He's got a year or two left on his contract, depending on whether or not they trigger an extension. And at the end of the day, that means that they are not in a position of power in this conversation. And given Marseille's bid for £8 million, Leeds sort of saw that and look like they're about to try and take advantage. We've made an attempted hijack. In a tweet released at 1:18 p.m. on the 12th of August, which is today, currently it's 1:41 as I'm speaking, Leeds are still very keen on Rowe. Marseille are working on it and the winger is keen on the move, but Leeds are keen to try and hijack the deal. There's a lot of keenness going on. And in my opinion, it looks like Rowe is just looking for a move away from Norwich to a side where he's more likely to thrive. Norwich fans that I've been talking to recently have basically all talked about the fact that they need to do a little bit of a rebuild right now. And I don't know if Rowe wants to be a part of that rebuilt version of the squad or if he wants to take advantage. Because right now he is in the most development-heavy part of his career. He needs to take advantage of the fact that he's still young and has potential. So I can see why he wants a move. And whilst this tweet was from Team Talk, it is widely corroborated by a lot of people, so we know we are still in this conversation. Combine the fact that Leeds are in for him and Marseille are still in the conversation, it means that we're likely to hit the £10 million mark at the very least, as the two sides are going to have a little bit of a bidding war, a little bit of a battle. But I have no doubt that he's going to leave the club. It's all about drawing him to Leeds United rather than Marseille. Odds are we're going to match whatever asking price Norwich reach, because we're at the point where we sort of need to do that. It's very late, and I can see the club sort of investing to try and show, look, we're putting money into this season. But it's about making him choose us instead of Marseille, and I think there's a few ways that Leeds can attract Rowe. There is the potential route for financial incentive, But Marseille are in a little bit of a better position to offer higher wages than us. They can make it very difficult, turn it into a wages bidding war, and that would become very, very tough for Leeds. Add on to that, there's the fact that location plays a pretty big factor. Whilst international footballers are more than happy to come to England, a big part of that is because English is like the language worldwide. A lot of countries speak English as at least a second language. I'm not sure how John Rowe's French is, but he would need to learn very, very quickly to slip into that Marseille side very happily. And I can see that being a bit of a problem. Remaining in England looks like for a long time it's been attractive for younger players because it's a little bit more comfortable. You don't have to step outside your comfort zone too much. In addition to that, we can offer something of a squad environment, something that's nice and comfy and happy and cozy because people want to be in positive workplaces. Leeds United right now seems like a very happy place to be with all of the players bouncing off each other. The moment Jayden Bogle walked into that tent in Germany and you had various people making jokes with him and having a laugh, and it felt like, okay, cool, there's a nice atmosphere in this squad. And then I look at Marseille, and I can't speak to the wider atmosphere in that squad, but as a side that has recently signed Mason Greenwood, I can't see it being 100% unified and happy. And I don't know what Rowe's stance is on that whole thing, but it's sure to work somewhat against Marseille if it has affected the atmosphere in any way, shape, or form. And in addition to that, it's best if we can prove that there is some clear direction at this club. When you're signing a player, you're not just signing them for now, you're signing them for the years to come. So what we need to do is we need to have Parag or someone from the 49ers and Daniel Farke presenting the project, presenting what his prospects are going to be. Because let's be honest, he might want to move away from Elland Road in the future, but that's fine because that happened with Somerville. We signed Somerville for £1.5 million, sold him for 34. If we sign Rowe for 12, we might be able to sell him for 20-something. That happens in football, and we need to talk to him about what his prospects are, even if it's not forever at Leeds United. And in addition to that, we need to talk about the club's strategy. What the club plans to do to get out of this division, and ultimately what we plan to do to stay in the Premier League. And if we're able to put that vision across really effectively to Rowe, then we are looking good. But there is no promise that that will be the case. So, at the end of the day, there's one question that's left, and that's, is it happening? And I'll be honest, I'm just very happy that we're still in the conversation. I thought Marseille might have had this wrapped up by now, and that would make things borderline impossible for Leeds. And I will be honest, we have a lot of work to do. Marseille is a very attractive prospect. Whilst the city itself isn't spectacular because various social issues, the south of France is still the south of France, you know? And overall, looking at everything, looking at the things that we'll need to do to attract John Rowe, I am vastly less certain than I was last week, but I'm still optimistic. I'm still in a position where I'm like, okay, we did reach out, we did make our interest very clear to him, and I'll be honest with you, I think we're a very good prospect for him. I think we are a good route to the Premier League and a good route to a very, very big career for John Rowe. And if we can present to him, look, you get plenty of playing time here, because we did rotate the wingers a fair bit last season. I think James and Nonto and Somerville all got a hell of a lot of football. So there's no issue with three wingers. We'll be able to present the fact that he'll play lots, he'll play in a team that's going to do really well, and he'll look incredibly good at Leeds. And I think us spending £12 million for what is effectively a wonder kid is very, very good business. But at the end of the day, as always, that is what I think. I think we are potentially able to get this move done, but I kind of want to know what you guys think as well. Let me know in the comments down below whether or not you think this Rowe deal will get over the line or whether it'll just be a little bit too tricky for us to do. And if not, who are we going to sign as an alternative? Hope you enjoyed the video/stream. Like if you did, comment down below what you're thinking. Subscribe if you're not yet, that's always hugely appreciated. Or even become a channel member. It's just 99p a month and it really helps to support the channel. I will see you later. Ta-ra. And I am going to do my post-video talky bit, but I don't really know what about. Most of the time something's popped into my head, but nothing has now. That's what I'll do. Let me know what you think of like this live pre-recorded thing, because I'm a little bit curious, because I think it might help the content itself, but I'm not 100% certain. We'll find out.